Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and to Tewkesbury part 2. It's a bit of a gloomy day today here in Guernsey. I think the summer's well and truly over. I'm in jumper and boots today, but we can still look back to the sunshine that we had when we were in Tewkesbury. Today we take you around the town and all of the historic buildings and the alleyways that make Tewkesbury what it is. Also down to the river. And I hope you enjoy it. Got a little bit of information from the Tourist Information Centre, so hopefully it's a bit more entertaining. So come with us. Please excuse the road noise. It is what it is, I'm afraid, but I think you can still hear me clearly. So let's go walk around Tewkesbury. So I'm taking a look around the centre of beautiful Tewkesbury. I'd hazard a guess that that one's a listed building. Apparently there are 350 listed buildings in the centre of Tewkesbury alone. It really is a gem. This one is right on the corner of where you turn down to the Caravan and Motorhome Club site. Over there is Gander Lane, and that's where it is. A look back at this beautiful building because behind it is the Abbey. We'll do a separate section on the Abbey. A look down the street here. One building after another. You really don't know which way to look. There's just so many of them, and in between all of the Tudor and medieval buildings, it looks to be filled in with Georgian built. And they've been retouched over the years. You can see there's Wonderland Tattoo Studio. Don't think I'm going to go in there. Where I am going to go in is this beautiful building here. Probably itself another one of those listed buildings. And this is the Tourist Information Centre. Look at that cantilevered window and all the carvings. I'm stood opposite the Berkeley Arms, and this is one of the heritage buildings in Tewkesbury, and it was dated back, well, the timbers have been carbon dated to 1495. This is one of the leaflets I picked up in the Tourist Information Centre, and it's quite fascinating actually because it tells you the ages of the various buildings you see while you're going around. On the video I keep saying carbon dating. It wasn't actually, they counted the rings. But very interesting leaflet, and you'll have a look at the buildings as we pass. Just point out everything to me. And you'll see there's so many bars, restaurants, shops. I mean, those two there, they're quite old and beautiful. I always say when you go around a place like this, you've got to look up. Because the modern shop fronts do not tell the tale. Down there is Tewkesbury Antique Centre. I'm not really equipped to carry antiques back with me today, so we'll carry on up the main street. They have medieval pennants sticking out of the walls all the way down the streets here. They must have a significance, but I don't know what it is. Yet another beautiful medieval building. Then Georgian, continuing, and then two more beautiful medieval buildings. One's now a card and gift shop. The other one I don't know. It looks like it's about to fall into the street, but I'm sure it's not. Well, this one here is truly fascinating. It's apparently built in the shape of the stern of a ship, and it used to be the Wheatsheaf Inn. It was originally an important inn, built in around 1481, had a skittles alley and all sorts of things, and then it became a factory in 1871, which, believe it or not, specialised in building fairground equipment. We're about a third of the way up the high street now, so I'll just pan around for you. Nottingham Arms there, that looks nice. You can sit outside with a drink. Up the other way, and probably one of the most beautiful Lloyd's banks I have ever seen. And they do have a hole in the wall, which is good because I need one. I'm not getting in much shopping. Too fascinated by the buildings as we go along. There's time yet. A couple of reasons why I'm going down here. One, it's Smith's Lane, and that was my maiden name. The other is it's the way to the river. So let's go down and take a look. And an entrance to yet another pub or bar. This is just off the high street. And this brings you down to the bridge over the river. I can hear ducks. An old mill or warehouse, yet another bridge, and the ducks playing away. It's not only historic buildings, but there's also rivers that play a big part in Tewkesbury, and we'll show you how they wrap around the town and how easy and accessible they are. But it's the Avon and the River Severn, and they join in Tewkesbury, and that is one of the things that made it so important and still makes it so beautiful. Looking the other way, you can see all the moorings down the river and the flats overlooking it. Quite modern. I've been joined by some feathered friends. As long as they don't give me any gifts, I don't mind. I think they too are used to being fed. Returning back to the high street. We've got a lot of the usual shops along here, but also a few different ones. Loads of tea rooms, loads of places to eat and drink, and as always quite a few charity shops. I've just come across a map of the alleys and courts of Tewkesbury, and it's on the entrance to Warder's Alley. There's a picture here of the Cheshire Cat, which was created by local school children. I'm just going to take a little walk down here to give you some idea. Very quiet. Apparently these sprung up centuries ago because they needed more buildings, so they're built off the main streets at right angles and then tended to build sort of 3-4 stories high to make the most of the available land to build houses on. They're not all here now, and there's been even more modern infill, as you can see, but the history is fascinating. And we come back out onto the high street. One of the fascinations of Tewkesbury are its alleyways, and you can actually pick up this leaflet which takes you around all of the alleyways and courtways, and that was what I was using as my guide as I went around. This one was 50p, the other one was free. And once again, a mixture of medieval and Georgian buildings. That was very clever. I looked round the corner to check I was safe, and then something came from the other way. The dangers of YouTubing. There are so many charity shops down here, I have to say, and also a fair few Chinese restaurants. I think Lisa and Mark from Northerners on Tour would really like this place. Wolf Court, this is yet another alley. This one is even more fascinating. Not quite that long, and with modern attachments such as the mobility scooter. But how beautiful is that? And the back door to the pub. No doubt been here since the 1400s. All these alleys look very romantic and very pretty. They were done to create more space, create light between buildings, but less romantic. It's where everybody dumped their muck and their rubbish and their domestic waste in more ways than one. So although they're lovely today, God, I'm glad I've not been here 400 or 500 years ago. This is the Cross House. Now, certainly at ground floor at least, it's a beauty salon. It's believed to be one of the finest medieval houses in Tewkesbury. And at one time was also believed to be the courthouse of the Lords of Tewkesbury. shame somehow it's now a beauty salon when actually it's a thing of beauty in itself. So we're back by the roundabout. To the right, that goes down to the site and to the Abbey, as you'll see. And the left continues with more shops. If you're staying at Tewkesbury Abbey Caravan and Motorhome Club site, this is your nearest shop. Oh, hardly any walk at all. Next to it, a pub, and as we continue down here, all the flags and the pennants like the rest, you'll see again there's so many places to eat and drink, have your hair cut and have your nails done. Guess that's pretty normal these days. Wandering back to the site now, just give you a look at the tourist information centre from the other side of the road. Really is quite an impressive building. We're really not much more than 500 yards from the entrance to Gander Lane, which takes you down to the site. Yet another alleyway with a pennant in it. Lily's Alley. And back round to the main street. More pennants. No, I haven't done anything wrong. Spelled differently. So here we are, back at the entrance to Gander Lane, with that beautiful building and the Abbey. Past a sort of crescent of Georgian houses. You know, the Carthago just gone past there. Not the same model, but close. It's an E-line chic, whereas ours is a chic S Plus, but close, still a lovely van. The site can accommodate really quite big vans. You'll hear it's got quieter. The minute you turn off the main streets, it gets much quieter. So we're wandering down Gander Lane. You go past the cricket club and the car park, and then you're back at the site. Little tributary to the river here. Go over this little bridge before getting to the site, and it's just in front of the Abbey. I think it's going to be a very busy site tonight. There's one after the other arriving. We're still in Gander Lane. And there's the Abbey. There's a board here that tells you all about Gander Lane. And this is apparently the start of the battle trail, which takes you on a journey through the fields south of Tewkesbury, where there was a decisive battle in the Wars of the Roses. It tells you on here all about the House of Lancaster, the Yorkist king, the king fleeing, and yet this battle in the War of the Roses was 1471. My history serves me right, didn't actually end until the Battle of Bosworth in 1485. And these fields that are now used as recreation and playing fields were where the battle took place. well, kiddies' playground. Isn't that a battle of some sorts? Well, depends on your perspective. So we're back to the site and the sign saying welcome to Tewkesbury Abbey. I think I deserve a rest now. Oh, there's that Carthago. Having done the historic buildings and the shops, although I wasn't successful in the shops, I did buy a loaf of bread, but that was about it. We then took a wander down to the river and the lock by Tewkesbury Marina. Very pretty area. So we're now down by the river and you can see the weir and the lock. Tewkesbury Marina's over there. I appear to be in a sort of beer garden. It says under new management, but doesn't appear to be open. See the pontoons there? Lone Swan. Something so nice about the water there. Another look down at the river. A little boat tucked away there on its mooring. And you can see the bridge and the main street, the main road into town, going over the bridge there. That's a nice little spot to live, isn't it? The building in the distance, that's a pub, and that's one of the oldest buildings in Tewkesbury. We'll take a look at it from a better angle. I'll go out onto the main road. Now we're walking over the bridge. Lovely old pub on the corner there. Extensive beer garden. And views down the river. Lovely flowers all the way along the bridge. Up towards the marina in one direction. The town and the wharf. Nice riverside houses here. Narrow boats moored. I actually think this is the Avon. And the Avon and the Severn meet around Tewkesbury. Get a better view of that beer garden there. Down the river. Quite lovely. Well, thanks for watching. This was Tewkesbury Part 2. Tewkesbury Part 3, which will be about Tewkesbury Abbey, will be coming out shortly. And I think it is worth a look. But I would say that, wouldn't I? So don't forget to subscribe. Give us a thumbs up if you like, and we'll leave you with a beautiful aerial view of the Abbey and a taster for next time. Cheers!